Have you ever found yourself waiting for the perfect moment? That one sign from the universe, that flawless opportunity, that right time to finally chase your dreams? If so, you're not alone. I want to tell you a story about a man named Arjun, a man who was an expert at waiting. Arjun was a dreamer. He had a notebook filled with brilliant ideas, a heart full of grand ambitions, and a mind that could paint the most beautiful futures. He wanted to start his own business, a cozy little bookstore cafe where people could lose themselves in stories and coffee. He wanted to travel the world, to see the northern lights from a glass igloo and walk the ancient streets of Rome. He wanted to learn to play the guitar, to write a novel, to finally tell his best friend how he truly felt. But for every dream, Arjun had a reason to wait. "I'll start the business plan when the economy is better," he'd say. "I'll book that trip once I get the next promotion. I'll buy a guitar when I have more free time." The right time was always just around the corner, a shimmering mirage that he never quite reached. His dreams remained locked away in his notebook, gathering dust like forgotten treasures. His friends and family would try to encourage him. "Just start small, Arjun." His sister would say, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." His father would remind him, but Arjun was paralyzed by the need for perfection. He was afraid of failing, of starting before he was fully prepared, of messing up his one perfect shot. So he waited and waited, and the days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and the months into years. The vibrant colors of his dreams began to fade, replaced by the dull gray of routine. One rainy afternoon, feeling particularly lost and disheartened, Arjun found himself wandering aimlessly through the city's old quarter. The cobblestone streets were slick with rain, and the melancholy mood of the day mirrored his own. As he walked, a peculiar little shop caught his eye. It was nestled between a modern bakery and a trendy boutique, looking like a relic from a bygone era. A sign, beautifully carved from dark wood, hung above the door. It read, "The Emporium of Time." Intrigued, Arjun pushed open the creaky wooden door. A little bell chimed, announcing his arrival. The inside of the shop was even more magical than the outside. It was filled, from floor to ceiling, with clocks. Grandfather clocks stood like silent sentinels along the walls, their pendulums swinging in a silent, hypnotic rhythm. Cuckoo clocks, with their intricate carvings, were perched on shelves. There were modern digital clocks, antique pocket watches under glass domes, and bizarre fantastical timepieces that looked like they belonged in a wizard's laboratory. The air was filled with a soft, constant symphony of ticking, a gentle reminder of the ceaseless march of moments. Behind a large wooden counter, an old man with a kind, wrinkled face and eyes that twinkled with wisdom looked up from the delicate watch he was mending. "Welcome," he said, his voice warm and raspy, like the rustling of old pages. "Lost, or just browsing?" "A little of both, I think," Arjun admitted, feeling a strange sense of comfort in the old man's presence. "I was just drawn to your shop. What kind of time do you sell here?" The old man chuckled, a soft, pleasant sound. "Ah, a clever question. I don't sell time, my boy. Who could? I simply keep its keepers. Each one of these," he said, gesturing round the room, "tells the same story, just in a different voice. The story of now." Arjun looked round at the hundreds of clocks, all ticking, all marking the present moment. "I've been waiting for the right time," he confessed, the words tumbling out before he could stop them. "For years, but it never seems to arrive." The old man, whose name was Elias, put down his tools and leaned on the counter. "The right time," he mused, tapping a finger on a beautiful hourglass where golden sand was steadily flowing. "Tell me, do you see a clock in here labeled the right time?" Arjun scanned the room. "No," he said. "Exactly," Elias smiled, "because it doesn't exist. People come in here all the time, looking for it. They think it's a specific date on a calendar, a certain hour on a dial. They believe it will arrive, fully formed, like a package delivered to their door. But that's the greatest illusion of all. He picked up a simple, unadorned pocket watch. He wound it, and it sprang to life with a crisp, clear tick. "You see this?" he asked. "It does not wait for the sun to be in the perfect position or for the air to be just right. It starts the moment you give it the energy to move. Time doesn't start for you. You start within time." Elias then gestured for Arjun to follow him to the back of the shop. There, under a dusty cloth, was a strange-looking clock. It had no hands, no numbers. Its face was just a smooth, polished piece of dark wood. "What is this?" Arjun asked, puzzled. "This is my most important timepiece," Elias explained. "It's a starting clock. It doesn't tell you the time. It reminds you to start. See this small button on the side?" He pointed to a small brass knob. "You press it when you begin something new. Anything. The first line of a book, the first step on a run, the first call for your new business." He looked Arjun directly in the eyes. "The right time isn't something you find, it's something you create. It's the moment you decide to act. The second you take that first, imperfect, terrifying step. That's when the clock starts ticking on your dream. Not before." He continued, "You're waiting for all the lights to turn green before you start your journey. But life doesn't work that way. You have to start driving and deal with the red lights and detours as they come. The magic isn't in a perfect start. It's in the courage to start at all." Arjun stared at the handless clock, and Elias's words echoed in his mind, cutting through years of excuses and fear. The right time is something you create. It was so simple, yet so profound. He had been a passive observer in his own life, waiting for the stage to be set perfectly. He finally understood that he was the one who had to build the stage, switch on the lights, and start the show. He looked at Elias, his heart swelling with a gratitude so immense it almost brought tears to his eyes. "Thank you," he said, his voice thick with emotion. I think I understand now." Elias simply nodded, his wise eyes crinkling at the corners. "The only time you truly own is now. Don't waste it waiting for a then that may never come." Arjun walked out of the Emporium of Time as the rain began to subside. A sliver of sun broke through the clouds, casting a golden glow on the wet pavement. It felt like a sign, but for the first time, Arjun knew he didn't need one. He walked home, not with the weight of his unfulfilled dreams, but with the electrifying energy of a new beginning. That very evening, he didn't open his notebook to dream. He opened it to plan. He wrote down one small, actionable step. Research local commercial spaces for rent. It wasn't perfect. He still had 1,000,000 questions and 100 fears. But it was a start. He had pressed the button on his own starting clock. The next day, he called his best friend and, with a shaky voice, finally told her how he felt. He enrolled in an online guitar course. He started a savings account specifically for his travels. Each action was a small tick of his new clock, a quiet declaration that he was no longer waiting. He was doing. Arjun's story isn't about overnight success. It's about a change in mindset. It's about realizing that the perfect moment is a myth. The real magic happens in the messy, imperfect, but very real now. It's in the decision to act, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. So, I ask you again, what are you waiting for? What dream have you kept locked away, waiting for the right time? Maybe your right time is this very moment. The moment you decide to write the first word, make the first call, take the first step. Don't let your life be a story of waiting. Be like Arjun, find your starting clock and press the button. Create your own right time. because the future you dream of begins the second you decide to build it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to start.